also want to appreciate and thank the governors that are here, ably represented by their deputies. Particularly, I want to thank Your Excellency, the Deputy Governor of Gombe State, Vanessa Daniel Jato, who has been here for a very long time. I'm sorry I even came after him. Thank you very much. The Deputy Governor of Nasarawa State, who was here and had to leave because he's chairing another meeting somewhere else, Dr. Emmanuel Akabi. And Your Excellency, the Deputy Governor of Kogi State, Salif Joel, who joined us as we are here. And also our chairman, who just came in and left, he also has another important engagement, the chairman House Committee on Environment, Right Honourable Mike Itabi, and also the distinguished senator, the chairman of this committee, who is also ably represented. Then our amiable permanent secretary, who is here, who tried to explain why we started this engagement late. He was just trying to protect his staff, who misled me to think that the occasion started at 11, and you know that I'll be here at the time. And in most cases, they give time, so I usually come on the right time, and they will be ready. That's why they think that they can do that way late, and I didn't take it lightly. Permanent Secretary, I'm not sure you have succeeded in defending your staff. Your Excellency, the Ambassador of EU, my good friend, and also supporter. He has been supporting us in very many ways, and we always appreciate him. Whenever I see him, I'm very happy to see him. His Excellency Goche Magnotis. Thank you very much for being here. And also our sponsors, the head of the EIB regional office, West Africa, Central Africa, who's also here personally. And as I was sitting very close to him, with Mr. Roger Stewart, I asked him that maybe, based on what he has seen being presented by the project coordinator, maybe he will give us more money, and I think he agreed. He gave us more money. Then we have many commissioners that are here, right? I cannot mention them because they are all here, and I want to thank you very much for representing their governments and their governors here in this important occasion. Commissioners, they are our own colleagues, so I want to thank you very much for being here. Then also our directors and director generals of the Ministry of Environment that are here. And I honestly don't want to forget the Minister of Finance, who gave us a very good speech and encouragement for what we are doing here. And we depend solely, we are going to hold you to what you said, that the Ministry of Finance will continue to support the Ministry of Environment in this area. Members of the political corps that are here, and members of our partners. There are many partners that I don't want to miss. Some of them were here, Islamic Development Bank, the World Bank, and all of you that are here. I want to thank you very much for being here with us today. And also the distinguished ladies and gentlemen that are here, all of you. I meet the students because I think they've been asked to go home, because I've learned a lot from the students that were brought here to give us the voice of the earth. I've been preaching this, I've been talking about that we have been taking things for granted for a long time, that the earth needs us to listen to it. We must listen to the earth, and the students told us that, and I believe that I'm very encouraged, because at that level they are beginning to understand that we need to protect the earth. We need to do that, because it's like they said, the earth is begging us to protect it. For a long time we took things for granted. Many people assume that when you talk of climate change, it's just a mirage. It's not there. You are just trying to do some hype. But I think the climate change is there. We are facing the consequences of climate change. The entire project we are going to launch today is a reflection of the fact that we are facing the consequences of climate change. And most of these changes that we are witnessing are partly due to our own carelessness, due to our own taking things for granted, and due to the fact that we think the earth is just there. I mean, you can harm it, but we are seeing clearly that we can harm the earth. The earth is just like all of us here. It can easily be harmed, and we have harmed it for a long time, and it's now crying for our help to support it. And like I said, there is nowhere we can go if we destroy this earth. It's the only one we have. For a long time, people have gone to the moon, they have gone to the Mars and many other planets, and I believe they are trying to look for alternatives to the Mother Earth, but there is no alternative. I want to assure you that there is no alternative to Mother Earth. We have to wake up and try to see that we protect this Mother Earth. And this is the essence of this project we are going to launch today. Protecting our own environment, protecting our own Earth, and the only we have. So it is my honor and privilege to welcome you all to this great event, which is the launch of the European Investment Bank Assistant Nigerian Climate Adaptation, Erosion and Watershed Program. This event is a significant milestone in our shared commitment to protecting Nigeria's environment, building climate resilience, and ensuring sustainable livelihood for all our citizens. Ladies and gentlemen, you may recall that in 2010, the federal government of Nigeria, with support from the World Bank, initiated the Nigeria Erosion and Watershed Project, which is normally called NEWMAP-EIB, known as the NEWMAP. The project was designed to tackle soil degradation, improve food security, and promote land restoration in line with economic recovery and growth plan. It was launched in 2013 with 7 pilot states and subsequently scaled up to 23 states across the country. Over its implementation period, NEWMAP mitigated gully erosion, improved community livelihoods, and strengthened institutional capacity in all facets of lives in Nigeria. The project was then formally closed in June 2022. So the first NEWMAP was started in 2013 and closed 2022. And because of the success of that project, the government and World Bank, later on the EU, decided that we need to scale it up, we need to continue with it, and we need to build on it. And this is what we are now trying to do. So to concentrate on this and scale up on the achievement of the NEWMAP, one, I would say, additional financing from European Investment Bank was secured, and the facility, like you are shown by the MPC, is 175 million euro, which was approved in 2020 by the bank. And so it has been approved in 2020, but you know it takes a long time for us to sit down, organize it, create a framework, try to build up what I have just seen for us to get to it. That's why it's taken so long that it is now 2025 we are starting. But I honestly, I'm sure most of you recall that there was the COVID intervention around that period. 2020, 2021, we are struggling with COVID-19. But today, by God's grace, we are here to launch it after 5 years of the approval. And the states that will be under this particular NEWMAP include Abia, Akwa Ibom, Anambra, Borno, Cross Rivers, Delta, Ebonyi, Edo, Enugu, Ikiti, Gombe, Imo, Kaduna, Kano, Katsina, Kogi, Nasarawa, Niger, Ogun, Ondo, Oyo, Plateau, and Sokoto. These are the 23 states that will be that will benefit from this program, and I believe that many states have already indicated that they want to also join. So we will welcome them as we go along. So ladies and gentlemen, the NEWMAP initiative reaffirms Nigerian commitment to sustainable land and water resource management, as well as climate resilience and community development. And that's why the MPC emphasized that we are going to plan with the people. In most cases, we plan for the people. But this time around, we are going to engage the people. We are going to take into consideration their own understanding of the environment, and so we are going to plan with them instead of planning for them. Through this project, we will scale up interventions to combat erosion, watershed degradation, and other environmental malaise. We will also safeguard lives, protect farmlands, infrastructure, and enhance livelihoods across all the communities within these 23 states. In addition, the project will strengthen climate adaptation measures and promote inclusive community participation at every level. Nigeria is facing worsening climate disasters like many other nations. The NEWMAP initiative will now equip us with necessary tools to effectively combat gully erosion and annual flooding. I'm sure you know that almost every year we are sending alerts, we are sending forecasts on flood across the country. This is because flood has now become a big issue. And it is linked to climate change. It is linked to the fact that we have not been doing the right thing. Most of these floods that we are facing are man-generated. We have blocked waterways by buildings. We have blocked watershed areas. We have built on floodplains and things like that. So much as the climate change is there, there's also the man-made problems that we are trying to confront. When we were kids, I'm sure also you remember that in cities in the north, we had what we call the ponds, that the water falls, it goes into this pond, it becomes a reservoir for us to use the water subsequently. But most of these kudupe have been built upon. They have been built now. You don't see them anymore. So you find that when there is rainfall, it falls and it goes into houses, it destroys our farm, it destroys our livelihoods and the rest of it. So it is our problem. So we must find ways of trying to address these problems in trying to provide avenues for water to move in. We're thinking of rain harvest, which is one area we can do that, but that also means that we have to provide avenues for water to move in and out when it comes down. And that's why when the architect, the Association of Architects of Nigeria came to visit me, I blamed them. I said, you architects, you are the ones that normally get consultancies to go and design houses on waterways, design houses on floodplains. So I'm appealing to you, please, whenever somebody gives you a contract, consultancy to go and design a house, make sure that house is not located on a waterway, on a floodplain. That's the only way in which we can guarantee this. So we must talk to everybody that is concerned. Town planners, let them not allocate plots on floodplains. Let them not allocate plots on let them allocate plots on ways that the areas that water normally finds its way. So we must, all of us, put our hands on deck and see that we do the right thing. This includes town planners, architects, quantity surveyors, and all that are involved in this. So we must work hard in trying to see that we prevent some of these climatic problems. And I always say that in Nigeria you find that flood is happening where it is least expected. Flood is happening where it is least expected. You'll expect flood in Lokoja, or flood in Niger, where you have the Niger River, or in the riverine areas and near the coast. But here in Nigeria, you find the most severe floods are in the north, in the fringes of the Sahel. That's where I have flood. In Katsina, in Sokoto, in Bauchi, in Yobe, in Borno State, you have flood. Why? Simply because we have not been doing the right thing and we have been doing the wrong thing. So we must try to address this thing. The government, the communities, local government must also find ways and means of trying to see that we address these issues. Clean the debris, clean the waterways, the gutters and all that. When the rainfall has access for it to move out of that place. So it is important for us to do this if we are trying to save ourselves from the damages of the flood and things like that. So we must do that for us to continue. So the support of the European Bank in climate finance provide Nigeria with opportunities to strengthen erosion control, flood management, and watershed restoration. Such partnership reinforces our resolve to take a firm stand against the devastating impact of climate change. I am pleased to inform you that the government of Nigeria has been shown that we have already started by giving out 750 million for the takeoff of the office of the project. This is just part and parcel of what we are expected to do, and we have done that. And I also want to inform you that a number of state governments have done that. Based on what they are supposed to do, they have also provided for the takeoff of their state government offices. So it is important for us to see that people are taking this seriously, and even from the number of participants from the state, you can see that most of the states are taking this seriously, and I want to commend the state for that. May I also emphasize that the success of this project depends on the commitment of stakeholders at all levels. I therefore urge the state governors to continue supporting the project through through payment of their counterpart contributions, the federal government is processing another tranche of disbursement through the Federal Ministry of Finance, and we have confirmed that they are doing that. So I want to sincerely express our appreciation to the Minister of Finance and coordinated Minister of the Economy for his tireless effort in making this project a reality. And I think his work has made us believe that we are right in doing that. I also want to appeal for his continuous support and consideration in providing additional counter funding, which will further strengthen the impact of the project. Special gratitude also goes to the European Investment Bank for deeming Nigeria worthy of this facility. And like I said, they will do more based on the commitment I heard from the original representative here. It is my hope that this partnership will continue to yield positive results for our people and for our environment. And it is important also to express our profound gratitude to His Excellency the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, for his commitment to our environment. He is very much committed to our environment, and wherever he goes, he speaks of our environment. He has been a support for this project and many other projects that has to do with the environment. So I want to sincerely thank him for doing that, and I will continue to work within the renewed hope agenda priorities, of which climate, smart, resilient cities are part of it. Mr. President is committed to sustainable development in the area of green cities and other successes in the area we have done. We have just launched our green bond, which is also in another attempt to provide finance for supporting green projects. It has just been launched and issued, and we believe that we'll do the fourth one this year. We have done two before, we have done this third one now, and we'll do another one before the year runs up. And that's also through the support of the Federal Ministry of Finance and many other institutions, including the EU, the World Bank, and most of these institutions. So we commend His Excellency the President for the support he has given us and will has continued to give us in the Ministry of the Environment. We also acknowledge the National Assembly for their support and the consistent support and commitment to providing enabling legislative framework and budgetary allocations that have made this project possible. Our special appreciation goes to the state governments for their strong partnership implementing this initiative. Like I said, that we have received very strong support from the government. And I often give the story of one state governor. Immediately he was elected, he called me and he said that, look, are we part of NEWMAP? I said, Your Excellency, you are part of it. He said, all right, then I can now relax. So that is a governor from one of the southern states. So it shows the level at which the governors take this project very seriously. So I want to sincerely commend the governors for that, and I want you to convey that to the governors. Thank you for your support. I will continue. We will not take your support for granted, I assure you. We are equally grateful to our partners, particularly the development partners, civil society organizations, as well as the private sector for their expertise, funding, and advocacy. We also recognize our traditional rulers. I thought I'm going to see some of them because the NPC promised that he's going to invite the traditional rulers, but I haven't seen any one of them here. But I think I want to thank them even in absentia for the role they are playing and they are going to play. And I heard that the NPC is talking about engaging the non-governmental organization. I believe that the most important structure you are going to engage is for you to get down to the communities, include the traditional rulers, and don't forget the religious leaders. Religion is important in Nigeria, so don't forget the religious leaders in your community engagement. They play a very important role. If they are with you, I assure you, you succeed. If they are not, you will have problems. So please don't forget the traditional rulers and the religious leaders. So I want to also urge the project coordinator to ensure effective implementation, transparency, and accessibility of the project so that its benefits remain impactful. It's important for us to remain, for the implementation to be very, very resourceful and impactful. And like I always said, we must find ways of sustaining projects like this. In Nigeria, we have so many projects funded by the World Bank, funded by the European Community, and so many other partner organizations. But in most cases, once the project terminates, it disappears, and you find that resources are left to lay fallow. So in the Ministry of Environment, we have taken it on ourselves to see that every project, every program in the ministry, we are going to find ways and means of trying to sustain it. There's a committee being chaired by the permanent secretary that will attempt to do that. When I was in Onga, we had one session on forestry, and I can remember in the 80s and late 80s and 90s, there was a significant support from the EEC, I don't know what it means now, the European Economic Council, something like that, for forestry in Nigeria. That project was very successful for a very long time. But the moment the support and the funding stops, the whole thing just left, and I don't think that there's any monitoring, there's anything that has been done around that. So I know my state was part of it, and the whole thing just disappeared. And if you go around, you see a number of abundant infrastructure all over the country for projects that stopped, that terminated. So we must find ways and means of trying to make sure that once you start a project, you sustain it and you continue to monitor it. And if possible, like we are trying to do in the Ministry of Environment, try to take that project under a department or under an agency that will continue to monitor and nurture that project, because we shouldn't allow them just to die after the support stops. When the money stops, the projects just are abandoned. So let's not abandon projects. Let's try to keep them alive forever, for as long as we can. So in the Ministry of Environment, we're trying to do that with all our projects, and this one will be one of them. We are going to also try to see that we keep this within an ambit of an agency after the terminal point that was mentioned, that after the 5 years, we'll make sure that this project continues. If we continue getting support, so be it. If we don't, the government will make budgetary provision for it so that we can continue to on that. Because, like he said, we cannot finish all the problem with this particular project. It's just, like he said, a dip in the ocean. So we'll try to find ways and means of making sure that this initiative, this project, this good idea continue within the ambit of the ministry, or if it means we can send it to another agency to discuss it. So I want to thank you very much for your presence here. Like I said, this is well attended. I think all the 23 states are here, and this shows that there is a high level of commitment for this project. And I want to thank particularly the EU ambassador who's here himself to say, and he will talk to us as we go along, and the bank. I'm happy, in fact, I'm glad that I was placed in between the two giants, the EU and the bank. So within this period, I'm sure we are going to get more support from both the EU and the bank. I want to thank you very much for listening, and I want you to pray for us, support us, and whatever you can for this project to succeed. Thank you very much. May God bless all of us.